Hey guys, I thought I would start a new tradition where every year I upload a video showing my studio. So you guys can see where I work and how I work, and I can also look back at these videos and see the progress I've made. 2023 was quite productive for me in miniature painting because we created this dedicated space for painting. It used to be a walk-in closet and we ended up getting rid of the cupboards, so I installed this table and display cabinet and also a storage shelf. And I also made quite a lot of progress in techniques. I brought an airbrush and learned how to do 3D printing and focused more on display pieces and busts rather than miniature painting this year, which was really interesting. So I thought in this video I can go through some of the things I have currently and show you my display case and then where I work and storage. Since this is the first video, it might be a bit longer. I'll go through everything from this side all the way over here. Yeah, so let's get started. Most of the furniture is from IKEA. This cabinet and this table, chair and bookshelf. And I also think these are from IKEA as well. I used to have a smaller display cabinet, but I outgrew it, so I ended up getting this one and it fit quite well with the desk here. So this cabinet is nice because it's got a lock for kids, but let's open it up. And these can move if they need to, but 4 shelves is good. Everything's pretty new here, so I'm still it's all a work in progress, but at the moment I'm thinking different shelves here have different categories, so each is kind of a different world. The top shelf is more of a display art area, and then the second level I was thinking kind of a graveyard where I put kind of evil models, and then this will be forest, and then not sure about this yet. Right now it's kind of just work in progress stuff. So here, these two are still a work in progress. I'm making how to paint videos for these at the moment. They'll be on my channel soon, but these two are from Nom Nom Studios. And this is Princess Mononoke and Aragorn. And these are really fun to paint, but yeah, still a work in progress. So I'll upload a video when I get those done. Here's a little display piece of Death Rattle skeletons from Age of Sigmar. And then Gandalf. These two are from Loot Studios. That's a Medusa bust and also a Elven Archer. And then down here, I recently just stripped the Fellowship members miniatures I have. Most of these are the old metal ones, but I have a few different versions of each of the Fellowship members, but I got the best ones, or the ones that I like the most, and then stripped them of the paint, and I'm going to repaint them to like a higher quality one day. And I based them all on this bark. So yeah, that's a future project. I plan to create like a second level here, so I'll have different tiers as I paint more things, and this will be more for display pieces. So yeah, I installed a light up here from IKEA. I ended up having to magnetize it in, so I don't really want to take it out, but that was quite tricky. I have the wire running here, and I ended up getting some of those small magnets and magnetizing it up there because no glue would stick to the frame. Yeah, and this top layer has the most light, of course, so it's best for display pieces. And then when we go down to this level, at the moment this is mainly Age of Sigmar stuff, but also a lot of the Rings Nazgul. And I have the Graveyard, or the Mausoleum set from Games Workshop. 3D printed tree from Loot Studios. And I have these little miniature ferns. I think those are from Green Stuff World. But yeah, I kind of leave them all unglued so I can put them wherever I want when I display this. And for the mausoleum I created hinges. It took a bit of work, but now we can open and close the doors. It's the Nazgul. These are some Banshees. I love these miniatures. These are from Age of Sigmar. I recently just kind of started getting into Age of Sigmar because they have some really nice models. I'm not really into the games, but I love painting good minis, so that seems to be where to get them nowadays. And the next level down there has to be a forest, right? So this is a tavern I'd been working on. If you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen some photos. But most of these minis here are from Loot Studios, 3D printed. And I thought I would make a tavern. So this one has a detachable roof, and inside we have all of the stuff going on. So all of these little things are separate. You've got the innkeeper, the drunk, some adventurers, Aragon. Yeah, even these little cups. It's like a doll's house, basically. So that was fun, but it took me a long time, and those rugs are just printed on paper and cut out. So yeah, I've also rigged it so you can put your phone in there and then the lights shine out the windows, but I'm using my phone to record right now, so yeah. I might add a tree in the future, something, I'm not sure yet, but maybe like something growing up the roof just to make it look a little bit more interesting, because right now that's a bit empty. But yeah, over here it's a bit out of place, but it's my Ali font, or I made a video on that, but I've made a bit of progress on it. If you've seen that, I added some war paint to him and rebased him with some new techniques I've learnt. Added some of these strings. I never consider any of my miniatures finished. They're always a work in progress. So as you learn new techniques and skills and new methods and paints and things get developed, I always like to paint over things and improve things. So everything's a work in progress. I never consider anything done, really. Done for the time being, but you know, you can always make things better. This floor, I'll show you what this is. This is a thing called Scenescapes, and they come in these big packs. I just use it as a flat sheet, and it works quite well just as ground cover, just to display pieces like this. I got that off Amazon. So yeah, down here I last year I tried my first Gundam. So I got this in Tokyo when I did a trip for work. I went to this Gundam based place, and this was kind of like a, not limited edition, but exclusive to that shop. So they had a giant statue of this Gundam outside, and I ran inside because we were quite rushed for time. We were on a schedule with workmates, and I went up to the Gundam shop and brought one. And yeah, it's quite fun to do. I don't know if I'll do any more, but it was cool to see what the hype is about. This is more focused on construction, I think, but I'm kind of more interested in the artistic side, so I appreciate it, but I probably won't pursue it too much. Over here we have a little ant from Loot Studio, and some other things that are a work in progress. The ant probably belongs in this section somewhere, but like I said, it's still all a work in progress, so yeah, we'll see what it's like next year. Alright, over here we have my desk. So this is where I paint, and then I installed these two cabinets so I can put some things that I need to quickly get to, and also a few more up here that I don't need to get to quite as often but are still within reach. Here I have my paints I usually use Vallejo, and then Wi-Fi speaker for music. I usually use two paint pots, one for just regular paint and then one for metallics, tissues, water, paintbrushes I'm currently using, palette. Right now I'm working on some of these Venari wardens, and these are cool. These are from Age of Sigmar. I really like them, and I've got some of the old high elves in the back here that I'm also working on for the old world. So I have these from the Island of Blood set, and I stripped them of paint, and I'm going to rebase them with the new size. So I'm working on the old high elves and the new high elves, and I'll make videos for them on how to paint them and rebasing and all that type of thing, so you can stay tuned to my channel. Over here I just have some pictures printed out. I like the vibe of these. These are kind of little animal people working in studio spaces, a man in a forest, and kind of a cool art style and peaceful. Up here is the shelf that I can reach when I'm sitting here. So I put all of my things that I commonly use, so things like clippers and brush cleaner, glues. This is all kind of when I paint particular colors and I need to refer back to what I've been doing, and also some inspiration for different things I'm working on. I've got washes up here and some other things I don't use as much for paints, basing things, texture paints, leaves and pigments, all the different colors there. Pliers are useful, scissors, glue, knives of course, and files and tweezers. And things I use less often are kind of turf and older paintbrushes that I'm not using right now, safety stuff, airbrushing stuff, and more trays for painting. So yeah, and I've also got my compressor for the airbrush down there. I've got a guitar. I don't play that very much, but I figure if I leave it out right behind me, then I'll probably play it more than I would if it was in storage somewhere. Air purifier, dehumidifier, painting of an amber sand that I painted that I quite like. Some books, Chinese learning books, fantasy style things, Lord of the Rings of course, piano books. Yeah, sorry, this is a display case. This is where I put most of my supplies so I can just turn around and grab them when I need them. But things that aren't quite as commonly needed as on these shelves. Here is a mask I'm working on for one of my friend's birthdays. So I brought this online, but then I've airbrushed it to be kind of customized, and I plan to add a few more details which kind of relate to him as a birthday present. So yeah, it's a work in progress, but I don't know, you can hang it up on the wall maybe, or wear it, I don't know, but it's quite fun. I might get into making some more of them in the future. Camera gear for taking photos and videos. And then I have all these little, well, big and little storage boxes which are kind of categorized by name. So for example, this one's full of tufts and things that I need to base with. So got some skeletons from Games Workshop and flowers and grass tufts of all the different colors. And they all come in boxes, so what I do is I just throw the boxes away and then write down what brand and color they are on the back. So if I want to buy more of them in the future, I know what to get. Tape, double-sided masking tape, etc. Art supplies is anything that's not on my desk is in here, so glues and paints that I don't use so often, or duplicates. And this one is kind of extras, dirt, stones, sand. Yeah. I've got some manuals for Lord of the Rings games, D&D, hacky sacks, I love hacky. Some card game collections, Magic and Pokemon and things. Not too much, but anything that I like the look of I like to collect. I've got a harmonica, some poster paint, kendama. Love kendama. Let's see if we can do this trick first try. Oh, okay, nice. If you're into skill toys, kendama is a great one. Toolbox, hammers, screwdrivers, tape measures, all that stuff. Basing is, let me get it. This is where I put bark, which is good to make imitation stones. Some rocks, leaves of different colors, basing stuff, static grass, water, scenery cement, more water effects, yeah, snow powder, etc. Oh, and these are the cutout plants that I showed you earlier. So yeah, from Green Stuff World. So there's the laser cut plants that you can paint and put onto your miniatures. Sculpting is putties and clays, all of that type of thing. And tools are just miscellaneous stuff, knives and paintbrushes. A mask for 3D printing and if I airbrush. And then at the top I have more miniatures and side bits just bits of leftover bits from sprues. This here is full of miniatures. I'll pull that down and I'll show you them now. Give me a sec. Alright, so these are full of some of the miniatures that I don't want to display right now or aren't finished. Here is how I ended up getting started in this hobby. This is all of my Lord of the Rings miniatures. So if you didn't know, I started by buying the Battle Games in Middle-earth magazine, and that ended up getting me hooked into this hobby like 20 years ago. And as you can see, I got a lot of them since. I don't really like to display these because I don't know, they're all kind of same, whereas the cabinet, I prefer to have a few, you know, a bit of variety. I have some of them, of course, like the Fellowship and Gandalf and the Nazgul, but yeah, so that's why they live here. But yeah, I've got a huge collection of these things, and I don't know if anybody wants to see these in detail, but I'll quickly go through some of them. There's lots of metal ones. I actually lost one of my old collections from the original ones that I had from my house. I don't know if my mum put them into storage or got rid of them or something, but I ended up winning a trade on New Zealand's equivalent of eBay. It's called Trade Me, and that had lots of the old figures, so I ended up getting some of them back, which is cool. So I've repainted some of them, and here they go. Yep. And then in this box are a mix of Island of Blood, Warhammer Fantasy, and also a few 3D printed things. So I've got some Loot Studios things that I haven't painted yet. Some Nighthawk from Amazon. From Age of Sigmar, sorry. Some Skaven, and also some more High Elves. Maybe one day I'll strip these two and rebase them and make them ready for Old World. And here are Loot Studios printed things. I signed up for a couple of their subscriptions, so I ended up printing quite a bit of their stuff, but just haven't got around to painting it. Since I've got into more of the art pieces, the display pieces, going back to these small ones hasn't really interested me lately, but maybe one day. There's a few painted here too, but again, I feel like my painting's progressed quite a lot this year, so these aren't really worth displaying much anymore. Yeah, so that's them. Give me a minute and I'll put them back up. Alright, so that's all of that stuff. Down here I have a chair and table, and behind the chair that's where I put foam core and card, so it's out of the way behind there. And I quite like sitting on this chair when I'm relaxing because it's opposite the display cabinet and I get to admire all the work I've done. I'd also just like to add all of this to the video since it's my first one. These are some things that I have in storage. I've got the Rohan scenery kit with the house, and this is just where I store my poster paint, and some trees, static grass applicator, and here are just sprues and boxes of Warhammer things that I haven't done yet. Some terrain, and in this bag I have old miniatures that don't really belong anywhere else and I don't really care too much for, but maybe need to use one day. Here's some Wood Elf archers, These are some Greek kind of mythological things from a game I haven't painted yet. These are some really old Lord of the Rings miniatures. I've got failed 3D prints. Some more painted minis from that Greek game. Cerberus and gods. Hydra. Some really bad minis from D&D. These ones are from Gloomhaven. Got rid of that. Yeah, just other stuff. And here's 2 board games that I just pulled out that I did the minis for. This is Rising Sun by CMON, and I've pretty much finished all of them except for maybe 1 or 2 player models. So here they are. It's quite a fun game. It's from CMON. It's about samurais and pretty similar to Risk in a way, maybe, but kind of based on Japanese mythology. And I totally just got this game because of all the cool minis, but it's worth checking out if you like that kind of Japanese mythological style. It's got the dragons and Oni, and these were actually really fun to paint. More Oni, some kind of horror-esque ring type creature, dragon, some more kind of player characters, samurai. Here's what they used to look like, so they're all just different colors, unpainted. So that's that, and then this is Marvel Crisis Protocol, and me and a friend played quite a lot of that. I've stopped collecting it recently, but I picked up quite a lot of their models at the beginning, like Iron Man, and I got the core set and then picked up a few extras. I've made some painting tutorial videos on a few of these, but that's also quite a fun game. It comes with lots of terrain, and it's quite different in the regards of other games that you can kind of interact with things on the board. So I picked up this house and used that as a storage, and that's filled with kind of cars and dumpsters and things like that. So yeah, that's all of the stuff. And that's basically it for this year's video, I think. You can let me know in the comments on anything you think I can improve on in this space. It's a work in progress and quite a new space, so still trying to work out what goes where and the best way for things to work, but yeah, so far it's made things more productive, and I'm really happy when I'm just sitting here working away, listening to music and in my own world. And yeah, stay tuned for more videos. I've got lots of how to paint things going on, so I'm making a video for these 2 Nom Nom figures and for these guys, and a few reviews for some products that I've been buying lately. So yeah, stay tuned and I'll see you later. Bye bye.